trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
Things look bad. It looks like you're not gonna make it. And you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
This afternoon's round 4 match is Spectredawn versus BULABOG in a race to 17. You are watching VP4TV, a tactical genius production.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to VP4TV. We're here for this round 4 match between Spectredawn and BULABOG, or Paul. A race to 17. Welcome to Polo. You're the only one that's there so far. Not Minty, that's not Polo, it's bloody Mal. I keep mixing them up. Good afternoon. We'll have a look at the bracket. These matches have been up for a few days now. This is the only one that I can cover today because it's the only one that's on. But we've got one tomorrow which clashes with the VP4 leagues. So as I said the other day, I'm going to start covering the league matches at 5 o'clock GMT, and then I'll be moving over to the one lost side match between Cobra and Interchange X at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Then we've got the match between Stubb and Vinces. That's Sunday or Saturday midnight, Sunday morning midnight, however you want to describe it. And that one hopefully will be covered by One Pocket Slim on his Twitch channel. Or if he can't be around, hopefully Steve will get it and it'll be on Twitch and YouTube. Now, with the greatest respect to BULABOG, BULABOG is his time on the winner's side has run out. Obviously got a bye in the last match, and he got a forfeit from Spud Boy. So BULABOG has got this far for various reasons, but today it's a big ask. He's up against Spectredawn. If BULABOG can get 7 racks, he'll do well. So I'm predicting 17-7, and Spectredawn should be the winner. if we look down at the bottom, we have this match, of course, with Stubb and Vince says, and of course the winner of that match will play the winner of this match this afternoon in the hot seat match. So that is how far we have got. The players are both here. Steve, I believe, won't be here. He's probably out golfing. Or if he is going to show, then I'll boot up Discord. I haven't got Discord up and running. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. But Paul, or BULABOG, I'm going to call him Paul anyway. He is in getting a little bit of practice. He probably needs a bit more than that, I think, though. The reason I'm saying that is that Paul will not be as good at running out as Spectredawn will be. But if he uses his head, he can make it a bit awkward for Spectredawn. Whether Paul's got that in his armoury, I don't know. He's got to keep it tight. He's got to try and frustrate Spectredawn. He can't capitulate for Spectredawn. If he does that, he'll get buried. If he plays clever and wise, then he could stay in the match a bit longer. But we'll see how it goes. You never know. Strange things can happen. I've always said that. Spectredawn's yet to win one of these major tournaments. He's in as good a position as he's ever going to be at the moment. Of course, there is a sort of dark cloud in the horizon. That dark cloud in the horizon might be in the shape of Albinario or Cobra. We don't know. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. Good afternoon. I've got some very good news for a lot of the old virtual pool players. I'm talking about those in the virtual pool 3 lobby, and there's not many of them here. In fact, I venture to say there's nobody here this afternoon. So I might keep that until tonight for Friday Night 9 Ball. The other news is that the Solaris forum, which I have not been maintaining for a long period of time, I spent 2 hours yesterday clearing out all the spam crap that was in it, hundreds of it. I deleted hundreds of spam bots that had been posting crap and advertising on the forum. The Solaris forum has been cleaned out, and I'm trying to get people to use that forum as a place to be posting stuff related to Virtual Pool 4. The forum has died a death, and I think one reason, and I've always said that, is Steve's not got a link in here in Virtual Pool 4 to the forum. That room's probably up now. But it is cleaned out, so it's good to go. Now, we've got BULABOG, or Paul, on the right-hand side, Spectredawn on the left, lag for the break, and of course it's alternate break, no jump cues. Spectredawn wins the lag, and off we go. So 3 ball gone, no shot in the 1. This is tricky to avoid the scratch. And of course, he doesn't need to play the 1 ball. He can play a push out, but it's difficult to play a push out where he's not going to leave some kind of shot. Now, did he call the push out there? Well, that's a fail straight off the bat. Big fail by Spectredawn. And instances like this are exactly what Paul has to actually deal with. He has to be finding a way out here. Now, this is just obviously a little dink. He doesn't want this 2 ball to go in if he can help it. And if it does go in, he needs to get the cue ball up the table. And that's good enough. Now, he doesn't want to bump into the 7, because he'll probably leave himself partially hooked in the 4. And he's okay, I think. Okay so far. Now, how does he play this? He could play a little gentle roll. Dead weight roll. He's checked it up slightly though to hold a line. Now, he might be better coming down to the bottom side of this 7. I don't know that going to the top of the 7 is the best move because, well, he's got the danger of the scratch. He's played it soft enough. Because the other thing that might have interfered might have been the 9 ball there if he'd got that wrong. But okay so far. I'm rooting for Paul to make a match of this. I'm not going to hide that fact. I want to see him make a match of it. And this is what he has to do. If you're going to stay in this tournament, you've got to be taking opportunities like this. If you throw these away, you've no chance. And this could settle any nerves straight away. Now this is a wee bit tricky. He's got to nudge this in and just get the cue ball back out. The angle's perfect for that. He's no worries on that score. It's just about getting that 9 in the hole. And there's the fail. That's the fail. Now Spectredawn. Does he want to push this 9 towards the 10? This could also be dangerous. Or does he line up the cut back bank? He's in two minds what to do here. I mean, he could just brush that 9, feather it, and come down table. Looks as if he's made his mind up. And of course, he's still got to remember the 10 ball. And that's perfect. So, Paul, you had your chance there. That mistake was what was meant to be. I don't know whether it was a push out or not. We'll never really know because it never showed up on the screen. It doesn't do that until after the shot's finished, but he ended up just rolling and playing a straight scratch, and Paul did everything great there until that 9 ball, and that it gets marked down as a fail. It's as good as a dry break, that, and the balls weren't bad, the table was good, and he couldn't get it done. And the cue ball's gone this time, which is, or is it the cue ball? Yes, it is. That's an even bigger disaster because this is now going to be a lesson in what you do with a scratch when you're given a chance. Now, Spectredawn is having a look at the 3 because that's the immediate problem. Now, that 3 played gentle enough will go in off that 8 ball, no problem. He can use the rail and a light brush on the 8 and it'll go in. He's just left himself really awkward over this 7 ball though. Now he needs a wee bit of spin. And that's perfect. Little bump in the 9. Little gentle roll using the rail and the 8 ball and it will go in. Well, look, the cue ball sort of wants to bump into the 5 here, I think. The angle that he's cutting this at, it looks as if it wants to go near this 5. So that's why he's played it long. Because he didn't like the line that the cue ball was taking. And he chose to play the more difficult shot, obviously. And look at what he's left Paul. Nothing doing. That'll now see this rack out. And as I said at the beginning, if Paul can get to 7 racks, he'll do well. And he would have done a lot better had he got that good start. And then, of course, Chad, insult to injury, he then scratches on his brake, which doesn't help. Oh, are you there? Well, I thought you were away golfing. I never bothered putting Discord on. I'll see the end of this rack first, and then I'll tab out. In fact, I'll give him that 8 ball back in a minute. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, Steve, I don't know, you might have saw the first rack, but Spectredawn, I'm assuming that he played a push out in that first rack. It was Spectredawn broke off. He played a push out, and all he did was roll straight down into a pocket. Paul had ball in hand. The table was good. He left himself a cut into the side pocket with the 9 ball, just get the cue ball back across the table for the 10, and he'd stole the first rack. Paul couldn't get it done. Misses the 9 ball at the side. Then he breaks in the second rack. He scratches in the break. And the rest is history.
Yeah, well, you know, it's hard to get away with that kind of those kind of mistakes against a good player, and that's one of the tough things about tournaments is, you know, maybe if you're gambling or you're playing a really long match, excuse me, you can survive a lot of mistakes early on, but you know, I mean, the problem for Paul is that you know, it is in truth a long match, but you know, he's the underdog, so for him to start out like that and get way behind, you know, because a guy like Spectredawn, you make him comfortable, he's just going to go nuts on you.
Yeah, I mean, I've given Paul a target of 7 racks to get. If he could get 7, he'll do well. But that start doesn't bode very well for the future.
Well, this is an interesting match because it's really a tale of 2 players that are both improving. You know, Spectredawn is improving his safety game, his push-out game, his kicking game, basically his moving game is getting better. Paul has improved everything. I mean, Paul, I think, is one of the most improved players on VP the last few months. He's improved a lot more than Spectredawn has, but he had a lot further to go. And he's definitely a big underdog in this match because, you know, he's not to the point where he plays super clean. He's a good player, but he doesn't play that clean, and it's hard to play a guy that runs out a lot if you're giving him opportunities.
Well, the other thing is that Paul, obviously his last match was supposed to be against Mr. Fox. That didn't happen. And his previous match before that was against Fudboy, which ended up in a forfeit. So he hasn't actually played this tournament match for a long while. He's been idle, actually, playing. Good afternoon to Bedhead.
Hey, Bedhead. Bedhead, you're playing tomorrow, right? Because I've got you in the lineup.
Yes, he agreed to that. Yeah, I was there when he said it. So
that's what I thought, because
he
he didn't
can't back
email,
down.
but, my memory, I got so much stuff going on in my head. I was like, I thought he said he was playing. Yeah, he's like, I don't need to respond to this email. I just told him, well, yeah, you really do need to respond to the email because I forget what I had for breakfast, let alone, who was going to be playing. But yeah, you're in the lineup.
Here's a question to ask you while it's in my mind, Steve. When was the last time you had a look at the Solaris forum?
This morning.
Right. You know that I gutted that out yesterday. I spent 2 hours yesterday, and I cleared out 100. You go and look at the moderator log. I cleared out hundreds of names, hundreds of posts. All a lot of it Russian, by the way.
Oh, we had a lot of spam?
Oh,
okay.
I absolutely gutted it out. It's clean now. In fact, I cleaned more this morning. I gutted the whole thing out. And you know what? I found I was looking at some of the old posts, and Romario had posted something back in 2010. And I looked at his profile, and I looked and found his email that he used to register in the forum. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I'll send an email to this address, see if it's still alive. And this was the news I was going to keep till later on. But I sent a message that says, "Are you still around? We're all thinking you're dead." And I thought nothing more of it. And would you believe it? I've got a message sent to me this morning on VP4, and I'll show you in a second, because he is alive, which is good news. He didn't elaborate anything. He just said, "Yes, I'm fine."
Well, that's good.
But for whatever reasons, he's not here. But at least we know that he's okay.
Okay, so you'll be happy to know that I screwed up, which is why we have all those. Because I turned off the admin account activation because I hadn't seen any spam, and I thought we were, all the stuff that I was approving for accounts looked normal. I wasn't seeing spam stuff came through, so I thought that, the software had gotten better when we weren't getting it. So that was a mistake on my part. So I've just set the admin account activation back on so we don't get that.
Yes, and did you update it? Because it's out of date. I noticed as well.
No, I haven't updated it. I update it every once in a while. It'll say that they want you updated, all the time. But I haven't noticed that's a huge deal. I updated it. I don't know. It wasn't that long ago. We're not that far behind.
Well, that was a good call by Paul. He played the bank combo onto the 8-ball, which was over the side pocket. Now he has to follow this through to get off the mark here. He needs to hold the cue ball.
Paul's making a lot of progress. I think he's going to end up being a very good VP player. I mean, he's good now, but I think he's going to be very good.
He didn't hold the cue ball there, but he's okay. He's just a bit straight, though. You see, that's the problem. He's going to have to dink this dead weight and play it from the short side.
He can just roll this to the short side. I mean, where it is. And that was it. Perfect.
Well, that'll give him winning the board at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's a very tough match for Paul. I mean, Spectredawn's definitely a contender now. Some people are picking him to win this tournament. He's definitely got a chance to. I mean, the question's going to be, can he play good enough? Can he move good enough when it really comes down to it against some of the better players? Yeah,
that's where he's going to get the full test. Because, I mean, fair play to Spectredawn, though. I mean, whatever criticism he has about push-outs and safety shots, he's still been good enough to beat Albinari and Cobra. They're the two that are battling out to get another go at him.
But you got to understand, he's gotten better at that. I still may be critical of certain things he does, but he's definitely better at that than he used to be. I mean, he's it used to be just ridiculous the stuff he did. Now, he's making reasonable attempts most of the time. I'm not saying he always does the right thing,
Well,
but
I bet.
he's not doing the completely wrong thing.
Well, I'm glad you didn't see the first shot he played in this match. So that was just a straight roll into a pocket. It was supposed to be a push out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why you don't want to push straight at the pocket. I mean, there's certain things, I've said this before, about moving the cue ball. You never want to run the cue ball at the pocket if you can avoid it, because speed's the hardest thing to control, and it's real easy to either come up short because you're scared of it, or roll in the pocket because you hit it a little too hard.
Is he sending the 2 behind the 3 and 9 here on the cue ball? It looks like the 2.
Yeah, he could potentially shoot.
Is he potting it? See, that's it. You've got to know your limitations. I would have ducked away from that there. Look at the chance he had to get in the 3 though.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
he did get on it, but
well, and the thing is, he hit the 2 heavy, so
Yeah.
he would have been on it even better if he made the 2. And there's a smart play. I don't think he got the hook, but it was the right play. Now he's going to get locked up. You just want to let the cue ball run forward and go on the 3 here. You're going to cut the 2 a little.
that'll
Just
do
like that.
That'll
And
do it.
that's very well played. So, there's an example of Spectredawn playing the right shot and just not executing it well. But, if you're doing the right thing, then you're going to start having success.
Mm-hmm. Right, the more you do the right thing.
If you're doing the wrong thing, you're rarely going to have success. But if you're doing the right thing, you've at least got a chance to be successful if you can get decent execution. And this is an interesting shot. This is just full blast top and come back down. Natural wants to come down on the short side, and that's what I would do here. He looks like he's trying to tweak it to the other side, and he didn't tweak it enough. So
it's going to finish on top.
Wait a
minute.
Lucky.
Wait a minute.
He's okay. He's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
What he did there is he put a little inside English on it, which all that did was head it straight for that. If he put no English, it would come down on the short side. He would have had to put more English to get on the side he wanted to get on. And that's just a judgment thing. That just shows me that he's got an idea where the cue ball's going, but he's not so exact on it. He didn't know he needed more English to get where he was trying to get to. Now, one thing about that, the part of the pocket you go into does affect that. Although on that particular shot, not that much. But on a lot of shots, if you hit a little heavy or a little thin in the pocket, it makes quite a bit of difference on where the cue ball goes.
Now you just got to nip this.
Yeah, he's just going to roll through. This is just, this
Was
is
he going to roll through behind the 10?
I think he will. He could come back. I mean, either one. If he's going to come back,
I would much rather nip that and try and get an angle on that 8.
Got to be a little careful on speed with the ball against the rail. See how much it wants to move sideways?
Yeah,
I think I was talking about this in another match, is that when a cue ball is close to the angle, or the object ball is close to the rail, the cue ball will move off much, much harder. I mean, if it was just a half inch apart, that shot's super easy. But as soon as it's like frozen on the rail, that becomes difficult.
Now, don't underhit this, whatever you do.
Yeah, that would be silly.
Don't underhit it.
I just done my pro, and that's perfect. So Paul is Paul's showing that he's got some stuff here. I mean, Spectredawn didn't execute the safe well. Paul played a good safe, and then was able to run out when he got the chance.
Well, I mean, I'm of the opinion that Paul's got absolutely nothing to lose, so he should have absolutely no pressure on him. He's not expected to win, and again, for the sake of having a good match, I just hope that he has that sort of frame of mind about him. If he has that, then he's relaxed. He's not worried, but he's still got to play sensible.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing good. I mean, it's just, he needs some help from Spectredawn. That's the bottom line here in this match. I mean, the Spectredawn's got enough of an advantage that he's going to need some help, and he's going to need to play really well to be in the match.
Let's have a quick look at the 4. I think
Well,
it goes anyway.
This is no gimme here because of where the 6 ball is. Yeah, it was a tough shot, and the 6 ball was in a tough position. And, you know, see, that's the kind of situation where I would start thinking about playing safe because, you know, or pushing out, or, you know, it was just, there's nothing wrong with shooting that shot, but it's a hard shot, and he didn't come close to making the ball, which makes you wonder whether, you know, that was really a good decision or not. You got a little bump there he didn't need. He can cut this in still.
Well, Paul should have won the first rack.
This is the kind of shot you want to kill. You know, you hit this with a lot of backspin, try to take some speed off it. You're going to come above the side pocket and out for the 2. This is also the kind of situation you might want to play safe in. Now, he looks like he's going to try to go long.
This will do.
And that's beautiful.
If it bounces, and if it keeps going, he's got a nice angle, nice gap.
That was a great way to play it, going long around the corner, because this shot's, I mean, he's perfect. This shot's easy. I want to go above the 6 ball here. And he kind of overhit it. Watch out. Well, he came out pretty good. That was way above the 6 ball.
Now, here's a test for the stun draw.
Yeah.
This is a test for the stun. See, he's digging in, and he's got
a lot. He's got a lot of room there. I mean, that's pretty hard to mess up. I mean, he had 2 feet of room. He could have drawn it back and still been okay. And you know, Paul's game, you know, he's playing a game that's flowing more, and that's really a good way to play pool. You know, the cue ball is flowing. He's not trying to force it a lot.
Well, this is a big shot coming up. A 7 ball to the 8.
Yeah, I would like to be a little straighter on this, but this is okay. You've got to make the decision on which side of this 8. You're going to come to the long rail, and you either come shorter and go between the 8 and 10, or you hit this more down. In this particular situation, I'd try to come, I wouldn't go between the 8 and 10. I'd try to draw this hard and come all the way down on the one side.
That's too heavy. Oh, it's checking up, is it? Nope.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, he's got a cut though.
That was because he had a little too much angle to easily play that shot to that side. A little less angle, and the speed was quite a bit easier. Yeah, he should be okay here.
Needs to go. Watch the cue ball. He's okay.
Boy, that was a lot of holding breath there.
It was a bit hairy. Well, you just roll this in and let the cue ball roll out. Just let it roll out to the straight angle.
You know, he's fighting. I mean, he's had a couple issues this rack, but he's getting through it. Oh, that's a bank shot there.
Well, it's looking like, I ain't seen it yet. He's back in the game.
I kind of felt like I said earlier, Paul, I think, is one of the most improved VP players the last few months. He does have a chance in this match if he keeps playing like this. Spectre keeps making mistakes.
And he needs things like this. A dry break, the 2 balls dead in the water, so he can put Spectredawn in trouble here. You just got to know your limitations. Don't be trying to do anything crazy.
This is the kind of situation, where he does something crazy.
See that's crazy, because he should have left himself right side there so he could just bunt that 2 up the table and stick him behind the 5.
Yeah, he should have just rolled 1 in and then played the
save.
Hang on
a minute. Now, did he
not
call
sure
that?
That was a good hit, was it?
Yeah, did he call it though? I think it's a missed call, is it? Yes, it is a missed call. He didn't call it. This is why when you kick that ball, you've got to call the pocket near to it like that.
Well, you should always call some pocket, you know. I mean, even if you have no clue where the ball's going.
I mean,
call a pocket.
The most obvious thing is that's the nearest pocket, and the chance of that coming off the 5 ball or the 3 ball, whatever it was, there was a chance of that happening, and he made the the numpty mistake of not calling the pocket.
Well,
Spectredawn's missed another one.
that. And I kind of expected to make that. Not because it was an easy shot, because it wasn't, but because Spectredawn is very good at those difficult shots. That's kind of his bread and butter, is making those balls.
Well, this time he's learnt from his mistake. He's decided to call it now, but it's too late.
Well,
watch the cue ball.
Yeah. That's the end of this game.
That's gone. So here's a question, Steve, and these other guys won't know yet because they haven't seen the tournament page. The Honolulu tournament. First question is, when's it going live? And second question, because it's Honolulu, and this is just my opinion, not anybody else's opinion, because they guys don't know yet, but you haven't got jump cues on in the Honolulu tournament.
Yeah, I thought about putting them on. I mean, we could. I honestly think that the fact that you're having to be creative in various ways, I think the jump cues are. I think that's a valid instrument required in that game, rather than kicking at stuff, trying to create stuff and calling shots, playing billiards off another ball when you're playing a jump, that type of thing. I think we could miss some spectacular shots that way. But then that's just me. That's why I thought about turning it on. But then on the other hand, it basically makes it a lot more difficult for safety play. And,
would you not like that option, though, Bedhead? Would you not like to have the option? Or are you not bothered?
Well, I mean, jump cues will be used if you're blocked. I mean, I think people will use the jump cues. But the thing about the game, and I think the reason Bedhead is saying this is because you don't have to hit the low ball, or you don't have any balls on. You can shoot any ball you want, and because of that, the balls that are close to you are certainly prime targets to shoot at. Where what can I do with this ball that's right in front of me, as far as playing a bank, a combo, a carom, playing a billiard off of it, versus jumping over to something. I mean, obviously, if there was something that was what you would call a plant that was just dead, that all you had to do was hit it, that maybe you'd use the jump cue. But I agree with Bedhead that it wouldn't be used like it would be in something like 9-ball. Yeah, I don't particularly like jump cues either. I mean, Filipino rotation is played without a jump cue, and that game is really a great game. It's very interesting. Now, given you can hit direct shots in that's no good, Paul. Well, he's kicking at this one. Now, you got a real good chance to kick safe. This you kick soft, because see that 7-8 there?
Yeah, he doesn't want to break that.
You want to kick this at a speed. Oh, that's not good. Maybe he was playing safe that way. Whatever. He got safe. I thought he tried to kick that in and play safe, but maybe he didn't like where the 4-ball was or something. So Spectredawn gets the cue ball, kick, but gets the kerplunk. I think he was going to sell out the 3 anyways, where that cue ball looked like it was rolling. Spec 1711. Well, I mean, that's probably a reasonable guess. I mean, so far Paul's played pretty good. Spec has not. And that's why it's a close match.
This is another test where there's not a problem with the table. It's just about controlling the cue ball and sticking them in the holes. That's the simple task here. That needs to keep going, though. Now, is he going to bump off the 10?
He's got his choice. I mean,
he's got to watch this. He's got to watch this, because this could end up 98. Yeah, but he could end up 98 here. I don't like the angle. Oh, he's missed the 10.
Oh, he decided to go wide of it, and that's fine. I just don't like that play because I don't like how he is on the 7 now, because now you're going to bump the 8. I would actually roll this and brush the 8 and shoot it probably up top.
Oh dear.
Yeah, see,
See
that was all caused by, he should have either hit the 6 with inside and killed it, or he should have stunned it over and bumped the 10, which probably would have been my preferred choice, because then he gets an angle on the 7 that he can come back for the 8. You know, the way he went. And that's just not thinking ahead. That's just not thinking of, gee, where do I need this cue ball on the 7 to get to the 8?
Well, the fact that he missed the 7, his mind was on what he was trying to do with the 8 ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, that's just an experience mistake, really. I mean, it's just seeing what you need to do the next ball, which, you know, for a player his level, you know, he should be doing that, and I'm sure he does a lot, but, you know, maybe it's pressure, maybe it's just, you know.
Well, but again, it's the critical thing that, you know, you've got to really be on top of. I mean, that was a good rack to run out there and steal it off Spectredawn, and he hasn't done it. And that's twice now in these first 8 or 9 racks. By the way, Stub,
Forces is here.
have you not heard of the idea of actually creating your own 9-ball room, Stub? He's complaining because nobody's making 9-ball rooms today, and I'm thinking, well, can you not work out he can make one himself?
He can make his own 9-ball room. It doesn't mean anybody's coming into it.
No, he'd much rather get in and bully people.
Nobody can play perfect all the time. Well, I wasn't criticizing him for not playing perfect. I was just criticizing him for not doing a basic thing, which is understanding where he needed to put the cue ball to shoot the 7. Well, I mean, that's just that's kind of a careless mistake for a player at his level.
If you're at round 4 in this tournament now, admittedly he's got there by a couple of buys the last 2 rounds, but if you're in round 4 and you get tables that are pretty good, it's fair to criticise his likelihood of survival by the fact that he's not getting out on fairly straightforward tables, because it's about moving the cue ball.
I think you have to categorize different kinds of criticism. You won't hear me criticize execution mistakes too much, because if somebody does the right thing and they have trouble with execution, that's a place that people aren't perfect, is they don't always execute well. But, you know, not making good decisions, doing the wrong thing, that's, you know,
well,
that's not, that's not a matter of not being perfect. That's a matter of, you know, not thinking clearly, succumbing to pressure, brain. I don't know, your brain's not working right, but it's not, you know, if you know that I shouldn't stick my hand in the fire because I'm going to get burnt, and then you do it, you know, there's a big difference between that and tripping and falling down and your hand goes in the fire. You know, there's a lot of difference in what I'm criticizing.
And this is another rack that's going to go south unless he gets lucky here. Now, call a pocket, whatever you do.
Speed is the hardest thing to master in the real game too, but that wasn't an issue with speed, what he did there. I mean, it was pretty obvious to me that how he played the shot the way he wanted to, and it was the wrong way. That really wasn't a very speed sensitive shot unless you tried to stay on the short side. And he obviously didn't. He hit it pretty hard.
Well, this 6 goes. It's tight, but it goes.
Speaking of real life, I hit some balls with a friend of mine for the first time. I've been working on making my stroke shorter like Rodney Morris, and I was doing it pretty good in practice. My buddy came over and we're just hitting balls, just practicing, not playing for anything. I couldn't make a ball. It was pretty depressing. I usually play him 9-4 when we play 9-ball. It probably should be 9-3. So I'm not even giving him what I'm making him go one more than he should, and I lost 4-4, and I think 6 or 7 for it was pretty bad.
I'll tell you something, Stub. You're brave. You're brave. I dare you. I dare you.
Are you the kind of person that likes to piss into the wind?
Yeah.
Is that it? You want to pee into the wind and see what happens? You know,
Yeah.
it's
all down your leg, Stub.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, Sam. I mean, that's the same thing in real life. The hardest thing to control is ball speed. I mean, and that's why you want to run the cue ball on lines that, you know, allow you to have some rollout on the ball. And obviously that's not always possible, but, you know, that's just one of the tenets of how to move the cue ball.
That's why Ronnie O'Sullivan's so good at snooker.
Well,
ball speed.
that's okay,
Stuff.
You'll only get one fine per match, and your money will last a long time.
Only once per match, then I'll leave, right? Well, that's once per match is fair.
Yeah, one fine per match isn't that much.
$1,000 each time, not a problem.
Well, we got a pretty good safety battle going here, and Paul just lost it. And that's the area Spectredawn's game's really improved. You know, his safety game has really improved a lot. I'm not bragging that it's great or anything for him, but, you know, he's really made an effort to improve, and it's showing. And I think that's why he's got a chance to win this tournament.
Oh, I'll choose the needed matches then.
And I'll tell you, you know, even in a game like 9-ball, which you can get away with maybe not having quite as good safety game. I mean, Spectredawn's won Friday night 9-ball so much without a good safety game. You know, you start thinking about, well, what happens when he gets a good safety game? It's going to help your 9-ball game too. He's just going to win that thing even more now. I mean, it's not like playing safe and 9-ball isn't going to help you. I mean, it's more important in this game, but you know, it's a big advantage of being able to do that in any game.
Well, he took a risk there.
Well, if somebody was going to win and get a custom cue, everybody would be getting it. I didn't say there was a custom cue up for grabs. We've done that before. Heck, I've got real cues I can send people. I mean, we've given away real cues. I've given away, I don't know, over the years, a few of them.
A wee bit higher in this 8-ball.
It's so much easier to ship international now. I'm willing to do it. It's just that whoever receiving it's on the hook for any customs or duties. I don't think I have a missiles queue. But maybe we'll do that again. Maybe next time we run a 9-ball world championship, we'll put a queue up in it too.
Well, my prediction was 17-7. So that's still Paul's target to get to 7.
You know, I don't know if you guys realize this, but we've raffled off a queue before too, where we raffled off a real queue in a world championship just for entering. You got in the raffle, and then we raffled it off.
Breaks dry. Now, can he get past that 8-ball?
Yeah, I've got some nice cues. I've got some Vikings. I've got some Tigers. I think last time I gave away a Tiger. But they hit good. I'll tell you something about cues is making a cue fancy doesn't make it hit good. I mean, having a good cue maker makes it hit good. And I'll tell you, one of the best hitting cues I've got is a one-piece Dufferin cue. So Dufferin's a Canadian company. I've got this old Dufferin, and the older ones are really good. I think I bought this thing in like,
well,
1980, early 80s for $25.
I would think that would need to be quite an old queue. I mean, is there any pool players on the circuit nowadays playing with a one-piece queue?
Well, pool players don't play with one-piece queues because it's not they're just hard to carry around. But I'm just saying from a plus, you know, with the shaft technologies and stuff like that, a lot of people wanted to go with low deflection shafts and carbon fiber and all that. But that house cue I have, well, it's not really house cue. It's like kind of elevated. That Dufferin I have, that single piece Dufferin, that thing hits probably better than anything I've ever played with. I mean, it's a pretty awesome cue. All those inlays and stuff, that's just, you know.
It's a good shot. Watch the cue ball.
That's just style. Inlays don't make your cue play better.
Now, I think he can. Is that the four ball that's there? Right, so he can cut this.
Now, this is interesting. I would go forward with this.
No,
I would never back this up. I can almost guarantee you he's going to draw this, but I would go forward with this.
Behind
because no. You're shooting a 4. You're going to come out. I wouldn't draw this. I'd go forward.
Unless he's too straight.
No, you can cut it a little and come forward because it's easier to control. I mean, that one you're going to have to fight a little, maybe put a little English on it. You got to cut it to the outside of the pocket, but I would have gone forward with that. I think way too many people draw those kind of shots. You should always let them go forward there.
Is he going
I think he's going to shoot this.
Now he needs a lucky roll here. He needs to bounce into that 7.
Well, I mean, the reason why to shoot that was the cue ball was going to run on a good line. He wasn't going to be able to hold it up, but it was going to come around the corner. I mean, the cue ball, one of the super important things in when you get those situations where the cue ball is going to have a lot of speed in it is understanding the multi-rail path because, see that I would have gone around the corner. Yeah, I wouldn't have chosen that way.
Yeah, that needed to go tightish round the corner though, and I think the worry with that shot was maybe the 7 ball could have got in the way.
Well, you know, the problem with going around the corners are coming across the line, but I still would have done it because you could keep it a long ways from the 6 and there was a lot of rollout. I mean, the way you did it is coming down the line a little better, but you're fighting the natural path.
Yeah, that needs to keep going.
He's good enough here. Gonna draw this with right English.
Steve won't know anything about it yet, semi-pro. I still don't understand it, to be honest with you.
I already sent you an email back on that. I don't know why you call it a money league. That's a bit
that's puzzling me. I asked him that the other day. I said, "Where does the money come into it?"
We've got a money league now. And basically what you're proposing is a one-player league with relegation. It's more like a tour in that sense, but who can't understand it? You talking about you?
Me.
It's basically just a one-player league. I don't know why he calls it a money league, because that's what we have now. You put money in, you get money out.
Am I assuming? Am I right in assuming that all the matches are what do you call it? When you set up the match to play, you set it up as a wager match for whatever the fee is. Is that what we're talking about? This is why you've been better off making a video on it and explaining it better. I think that's the best thing to do. Make a video so it's numpty proof. Anyway, no, you're just idiots, right? That's fine then. See, the thing is, I think if you're doing something like that, it's better to explain it so it's in plain English, and then people that see that's the other reason you'll struggle to get people to sign up for it, because if they don't understand it.
A one-player league will never work because people just aren't going to show up too much. I mean, you know, it's just that's very difficult to make happen. And if you
Yeah.
charge them every league to make sure that everybody's always paying every league, that's even less incentive for people to join because they're like, oh, I'm not going to be able to show up at the time. I don't want to pay when I'm not showing up.
I can type bullshit in my own match if nobody mutes me. Oh well, there's a mistake from Spectredawn.
Yeah, and that's not the kind of mistake you expect him to make. He's missed some balls that, granted they weren't easy shots, but that's really his strength. I mean, he is just a great shot maker. He does control the cue ball very good too, but he's one of the better shot makers in VP. You don't expect him to miss a whole lot of balls.
I set up a round robin 8-man tournament yesterday afternoon on a website called PlayPass. The basic one allows you to create a round robin league. I set that for 8 players. I then put in false results for all the matches and completed it. That was easy to do.
Yeah, I might consider putting in a round robin format. I've thought of that before. I thought, one of the cool tournament formats is you play in a group round robin, and then 2 players out of the group advance into a single elimination finals bracket. That's kind of a cool format, but you need a pretty big field. It'd have to be a world championship done like that. And then, if we do that, people are going to complain about the draw about, when Larry and Bill end up with semi-pro, Spectredawn and Albinary.
Then you have to work out how to do something like that with seeding, so that you split
they
them
can
into.
be seeded, but those tournaments typically aren't seeded when they do that. I don't know if you've ever looked at the World Straight Full Championship, but that's how it's done. It's a random draw. Well, maybe it's not a random draw. I'll have to look at that. But they play in groups, and 2 players advance out of the group. There's a Chinese tournament that they do the same thing. Big Chinese tournament.
Well, Paul's missed the edge of the 7. That's another rat going south.
Yeah, well, just his play level versus Spectredawn's play level starting to show right now. Pool is so tough because Paul's done a lot of great stuff this match. The problem with pool is that the bad stuff you do hurts you more than the good stuff helps you. You're playing 10 ball, you can hit 9 beautiful shots and then dog the 10. I mean, it's the bad stuff really kills you, and that's why it's so hard to be good at this game. Is that if you're good 90% of the time, you're going to beat most people, and but you're not going to beat the best guys. And if you're at 80%, then you're in trouble against the good players, real trouble. Well, how is that different than what we have now for League Semi-Pro?
Well, there isn't any splitting of prize money in the. But I'm mixing it up with bloody, what do you call it? The ladders. Forget that. My mind's in a different thing. Yeah, there's a prize pot at the end of the leagues, isn't there?
Yeah, well, there's 2. There's a prize fund that's given for the place you finish in league, and then there's a prize fund for the playoffs. And that's a good hit. Let's see, does this 1 ball go is the question.
No.
Not looking good. So he's going to play safe here. Let's see what he comes up with. This safe's a little tougher. That's not any good. Now, the reason why I say that's not any good, it's not because you didn't get the hook on the 4. It's just that's not a good safety to play.
No, he's left the bank. The cue ball's been down towards the 2.
I mean, he would have been better off if he sent the 1 down table, took the cue off the end rail, and tried to put it on the 4, which also was a difficult shot, but he's got the 4 and the 8, and he's got more balls to get a hook, and plus he's running at a line with the cue ball where it's running at the 4 ball instead of having the cue ball and 1 ball both running across the line. It's just safety play is no different than moving the cue ball, except that you're moving 2 balls. So you got to look at the lines of where you're trying to go. If you're running the cue ball on a line at a ball, it's a lot easier to get the snooker than if you're running across the line. Like right there, he tried to run across the line again. That's a hard shot. You're running across the line of 1 ball width, and you got to stop that. That's it's just not a good play. Unless it could be a good play if you are in a situation where if you don't get the snooker, you're still okay. But those, weren't so wonderful. And that wasn't very good by Paul there. I think the shot he tried to play wasn't bad. He just didn't execute it that well. It might have been better to take try to take the 1 ball and bank it back and take the cue ball up table and use the 3 and 10.
Well, he's got to duck here. I mean, this is an easy safety. Send it up to the 4 ball. The cue ball,
Yeah,
that
I
is.
mean, well, yeah, and it's a little touchy getting by the 3. I think he can.
Oh,
I think he can get that line to go by the 3.
I think he can aim it up at the 4. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are right.
The speed's a little touchy because the 2 ball will pop out when you hit it thick enough. It's a little touchy.
Got it.
It's less touchy than I thought because that was real easy. Well played there.
So this hit here by Paul needs to be good because the table is too good not to be run out here.
Yeah, this is tough here. I'd probably go behind the 10 with draw and try to get the cue ball to come off the rail and catch a piece of the 2.
I didn't get into that enough.
That was a tough kick. These rails are pretty slippery at low angles, so I'm not sure he could have done the shot that I was talking about. In real life, that shot was there. You get a piece of the 2. And here we go again. It's going to be 9-4. This is just Semi-Pro, you never answer my question about how is this different than the league we currently have, other than the fact that there's relegation and that there's
we're paying an entry fee each week.
Only 1 player.
And
you're not paying an entry fee each week. You're saying pay it all up front? Was that? I don't remember that. But that's just going to make people not be. Yeah, he's saying pay it all up front. That's just going to mean that even less people will join. I mean, it's a good way to fund it, but it's not going to be desirable because people are going to go, I'm not going to be able to play every week. So why would I spend 1,000 V dollars? I mean, I think it's the nature of the online game as part of the problem. I mean, even in real life, there'd be people going, I don't want to do that because I may not be there every week. But in this online game, I mean...
Well, that's more bad news for Paul. Dry break, look at the table. This is another one that's going.
I mean, we could have done that with telling people that everybody just paid up front a certain amount in the league, no matter what the lineup was and stuff. But I don't think that would be popular. Leagues in real life, the way they run is you pay when you're there at the league night if you play. And I'm trying to think if any of the leagues in this country don't do that. There's like, let's see, there's TAP, Valley, BCA, APA. There's at least 4 major ones, and I think they all run the same way of you pay the fee when you play.
Spectredawn's got himself out of line here.
Yeah, this is, well, you can cut this in the side pocket, but it's very touchy getting on the 5. I think I think if he cuts this in the side pocket, he's going to have a. This is tough. He's going to cut it back in the corner. And I like this shot better. He's going to have to draw this and kill it a lot. If he goes forward, it's very difficult getting on the 5 because, yeah, he's going to draw it.
That was never easy. Welcome to here, Pig.
Yeah, that's the kind of shot I've practiced a lot in real life, that big cut like that, because it's just good for teaching you spatial awareness. I've watched Earl Strickland hits that shot all the time in practice, all the time, and he hits it with top right English and goes around the table. If you watch Earl practice, I've seen him hit that shot for like 20, 30 minutes straight. That's one of his favorite shots to practice.
Right. Cross the table twice. What's he trying to do? Come back the way? Looks as if he's trying to get below the 6. That's always the danger with that shot, getting near the side pocket. Now he's awkward. He's going to have to dig in quite a bit here.
Yeah, I just don't think that's going to work semi-pro. And I just don't think you're going to get people that want to do that. It's, you know, it's going to be hard to get enough players as it is. But tell them pay all up front. Yeah, that's a great way to incentivize them to show up, but it's also a great way to not get enough people signing up. Well, you know, I mean, Earl doesn't hit that shot to practice making that shot. He hits that shot to get his game in tune, you know, because spatially it's tough, and then putting a lot of English on it, you know, you're judging the deflection. It's really more of a shot to prepare to play than it is to practice that shot. Right. Yeah, I've watched Earl hit certain shots and warming up to play. There's other shots that he hits too, and you know, there's a shot down the rail he'll hit, and it's just, you know, he'll hit it and he's thick, and he's thick, and he's thick, and he's thick, and what he's trying to do is get on a thick line, and then thin it out by how he hits the cue ball. And the reason why he's doing that is that you need to be on a thick line. Good players play on a thicker line, and then, you know, they make angle with how they hit the cue ball. And if you notice how pros miss, when pros miss, they tend to overcut the ball, and that's the miss they don't like. This funny thing is when people start out playing full, they never cut the ball enough. But
right.
If you watch really good players, they're gonna overcut balls when they miss, and that's, you know, that's like that's what they don't really want to see.
Right, here's the test here for Paul. This is a perfect test. Everything goes, right? Everything goes. The 3 ball goes past the 6. He's already got a funny angle in the 2.
Yeah, and it's amazing because when you get out of line, it makes pull so much harder.
Yeah. See, now he's struggling because he's got the cut in the 3, not a problem, but the 4's not going anywhere.
I just got a refreshment of that reality. Working on shortening my stroke, you know, I started hitting it pretty good, but I'm out of line. Not a lot, just a little. But you know what? Right. I found out it's a lot harder to play pool like that.
You've got to be clear. For so long. You've got to be clear whether it's a race to 10 or whether it's 10 racks you're playing. That's the thing. If you're playing 10 racks, then obviously you can have a draw at 5-5. It's not a race to 10. Is that what you mean? So you've got to make that abundantly clear, because people at Bedhead are going to get confused. I'm going to get confused.
Yeah, but those are just details that aren't that important. I mean, the whole premise of the thing, you know, is that you're going to play something that looks like a one-player league, and you put all the money up front. You know, what game you're playing, how many racks is kind of irrelevant if the major premise of that isn't valid, won't work, and I don't think it will.
Well, that's up to you to prove them wrong, semi-pro. But I say the way you'll make it clear is by explaining it better.
All right. Well, I have to go. Herpig, if you want to come in and commentate with you and finish this, you can. I'm out of here because I've got an appointment with Destiny.
That must mean the wife.
No. It means I'm playing golf.
That's the other. That's why I thought you wouldn't be here. I thought you'd be already out in the course.
I got a late tea time, but I gotta go. But it's been fun. I'll be here. Let's see, what do we got tomorrow? We got matches, right? Don't we have matches tomorrow?
You'll be here for this. Well, you or Slim will be here for the stub match because that's the one that's at midnight Saturday night my time, 7 p.m. your time. I think it is.
Now let's see. So we've got a match tomorrow. Cobra and Interchange X would be 6 p.m. your time. So you're gonna stream that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the leagues at 5 and then jump over to that at 6.
So am I gonna miss that?
Well, that was well done. I mean, he done what was expected of him there. A good table, not a problem in the table he got out, so you can't criticise him for that.
I think I'm going to miss the early match, but I'll do the stub one. So I guess it'll be Slim and me doing the stub one.
Yeah, I want to watch that when I get home.
I'm out of here.
Right, enjoy yourself.
All right, thank you.
See you later. So, Spectredawn having to push out. Again, well, the one immediate problem for Paul is his brakes been crap. He's had a handful of dry brakes. He's scratched in one of them, so he needs to get that improved. And Paul's took the bait, went for the bank, got the bank. Well, this is a chance. He's going to have to hold the cue ball here. Oh, I forgot to call. There's a bloody numpty. What a numpty. Now, you could say that would have been an obvious bank. You've got to call banks. Simple as that. And he never called a kick that he played earlier, and the ball went in. So he's learning the hard way. Spectredawn, to be fair, has given it back to him. I wouldn't have. I would have made him suffer for that.
Hello, hello.
Good afternoon. What time is it there? It's still good morning, isn't it?
Yep, 10:30 in the morning.
Well, Spectredawn's too generous. Paul played the bank to 2, never called it. Spectredawn gave it back to him. Like I said, I wouldn't have.
Well, I mean, I think maybe he really didn't like the shot on the 3. I think that's all it means.
Oh, that was close.
Giving the shot back is not always a kindness.
Well, he gave him, he banked the 2 and the 2 went in, but he miscalled it because he never called it, and Spectredawn gave him it back. But I think the 3 ball was on. Mind you, I can't remember now. That was 30 seconds ago. I can't remember.
Well, I don't think he could make it without scratching unless he kicked it, and uh-oh. I guess he tried to break that ball out. I thought he could play position on it in the other corner without too much trouble, but instead this is what he did.
Bedhead, are you still there? I'm telling, because I can't remember how long Bedhead was in Virtual Pool 3. How long have you, I'll say that again, how long was you in Virtual Pool 3? Because I can't remember seeing Bedhead in Virtual Pool 3. Unless he was under some other Swedish name at the time. You remember Romario? Albinario knows who Romario is, because Albinario used to play him. Yeah, I didn't think you were in VP3.
Just offline a little bit, he says. All right.
Well, if you see Albinario before I see him, tell him the good news is Romario is alive. Because when I was cleaning out the Solaris forum yesterday, I had a look at Romario's profile, took his email that he had registered with the forum and sent an email to him just in the off chance that I might or I might not get a reply. And I thought, and it wasn't until I come online this afternoon, he actually never replied to my email. He replied in VP4, and he said he says he's fine. He didn't say anything else. That's all he said. I'm fine, but no elaboration or any mention as to why he isn't around. But at least it's good to know he's not another VP player in the sky. You know what I mean? Well, this is an important 8-ball. And that looks very nice. That was very well played.
Yep.
Well, he's going to at least get to the target I set him.
I think he kind of needed to hit the thick part of the pocket from there, and that was a tough enough shot without having to cheat the pocket.
I don't now. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
That is a huge fail. I'm not aware that Frankel had an account on the forum. Because it wasn't just Frankel either. He was, what was he? What was it before he changed it or after he changed it? But I think we've established that Frankel is no longer with us. I think that's the conclusion we came to. Remember he said he had a cough. Yeah, Dizzle. Yeah, I think he was seriously ill. Well, that's what we're assuming. The information he gave us. You notice how the two balls are sticking in the pack? Like this time it's the 8 and the 10 ball that are sticking there. I've seen that 3 or 4 times in this match. Well, that's a huge fail there for Paul. He could have been another huge 2-rack swing as well. When he was just about to breathe down the neck of Spectredawn there, he's blown a 9-ball. Yeah, that's right, semi-pro. So
he's calling a push out. I think he can play this rail first. Oh yeah, he's doing that.
Yeah, I think you would always have a go at this, wouldn't you?
I would, that close to the pocket. Oh wow, he overcut it. That's unusual. But see, the position, he was always going to be on the 2. So
hang on a minute. There might be a gap here. There might be a gap.
Yeah, he's on this 1 ball.
Yeah.
So that's not fortunate.
Shoal, Bank, Hong, Fault, Oi. Who thinks up these names?
Quite a question. Is that name from Thailand? I don't know. He's gone.
I was in the lobby the other day and I counted at least 4 Vietnamese players. They were all in rooms. They were all gratis players, and I'm wondering why we've got an influx of Vietnamese players. Because I'll tell you something, there was a whole stack of them on Shooter's Pool, loads and loads of them in Shooter's Pool.
Well, maybe they're getting sick of Shooter's Pool.
Yeah, maybe they're trying the rounds to see what they like best. Good afternoon,
I do know
Cobra.
that pool in real life is gaining popularity massively in Vietnam. It's become a real hotbed of new good players.
Cobra, you know Romario, don't you? You were in VP3, were you? I'm telling everybody that I think might have played in VP3. Welcome to Dwight. Well, this is about missed chances so far for Paul. Yeah, you do know him right well. He's been disappeared for a while, but he is alive. That's the good news I can tell you.
Good shot there, but he could have done without the kiss on the 4. Still all right. I'm not sure I'd draw this. I feel like I'd go around the 7 instead with top right, but yeah, he risked it. It worked.
Right, so kill the cue ball, 6 ball into the side. Cut angle in the 7, down the left-hand side for the 8. All sounds simple, doesn't it?
There are only 5 more things that can go wrong from here.
I think he wants to leave the cue ball where he is, in my opinion. See, I would have left the cue ball here and played the cut so that I'm coming down the left-hand side. See, that's a mistake. He's gone dead straight.
Yeah, he had enough cheat available, being so close to the pocket that he could still cut it that direction.
If you're this side, it's much easier to cut it and just roll the cue ball out up onto the 8. See, now he's left himself awkward here, bumping into things.
This is absolutely the wrong side of the 8. If anything, he wanted to be below the 8. So getting a little flat on the 7 did cause him trouble.
Well, this is no different from the one that he missed in the last rack. I don't think he wants to baby this.
Actually, a little harder, I think. A little harder than the one he missed last rack. Will he undercut it again? Or no, the other one was an overcut, wasn't it?
He's a bit tentative. Yeah, well, he's got it.
Slight undercut, but like Steve was saying, the rails play very slippery from shallow angles, so those tend to go in virtual pool. Till the next physics update, anyway.
Right, let's see if Paul can get something in this break, because it's been pretty poor so far. That's better. The cue ball almost scratched again, but he's got the 2 ball, 1 ball's on. Bit of travelling to get onto the 3, but loads of open space to get there. And you have to say, again, at this stage in the tournament, this is a rack he's got to get out.
The 7 to the 8 is the key here.
Well, he can do the VP4 escape route and just come back down to where the 5 ball is to play that 8 ball. There's loads of room to.
If he's straight enough on the 7, yeah.
Yeah.
So he wants. You know, if he's got more angle on the 7, then the route becomes simpler, but the speed becomes sensitive to make sure you land in the window. And if he's dead straight on the 5, then that's not going to be good news. It's got a little
this is the Albinario 5 ball, the one where he didn't play the 4th shot.
No, he's got more angle than Albie did, so he can do this.
So, nice little cut.
He probably will try to get straight in, I think, on the 7.
I don't think there's much doubt of where he's going to be heading, though. He just wants to come down here on this right side somewhere to see that 8 ball.
And now this is the kind of position zone where the further he is back towards the end rail where his cue is, the more margin of error he's got.
That'll do it. Just needs to slow up, though. Needs to slow up.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, I think he's overcooked it.
I am not sure it's close.
Yeah, that's cutting to the rail. That's not going in. At least my eyes say that at the moment. I'm not convinced it goes. Maybe if he spun it a little. He's got loads of room to spin this cue ball a little bit. Bit of right English on it and try and. But I mean, I don't think it's on. Oh, it's gone in now. Was that legal? Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, that was really, really close. But he's got better eyes than I've got, because I didn't think it went. Well, this is
smart thing here.
This is one target that I set him getting to 7. It's not in the hole yet, though.
Well, I've only been here for the last 3 racks or so, but I'd say BULABOG is having a good day.
Well,
he's in form for him.
You know, it's now when you're sitting watching this, he's not maybe thinking this, but sitting watching this, look at the racks that he hasn't put away. I mean, he could be all square right now. If we're going to be conservative here, there's 2 racks at least he should have run out. He missed that 9 ball. First rack he had today, he failed when he had a good table. So there's 2 racks to give him to square the match.
Here's another one he should run out, to be honest.
Yeah. So
6 to 7. 6 to 7 maybe is going to take a little doing.
He can really put the mark on Spectredawn here if he can stick this away, and Spectredawn then starts getting that little bit of doubt in his mind. Because the psychological warfare is for the winning as well. Spectredawn's the guy that everybody's got him down as favourite here. Spectredawn's thinking he was favourite at the start. No doubt about that. And
he certainly still is.
If Paul can just mind what he's doing here and stick one of these sort of tables away, now he's got a bit of trickiness here.
He made the 7 a little less difficult by accident there, I think. But he ended up a little tricky on the 4 at the same time. That's going to be
going nowhere.
That's too thin, I think, to play this in the side.
Yeah, that's never cutting.
He could stop his ball and bank the 5 around near the 8.
That's no good either. And that,
I like the stop shot option there, I think.
Yeah, that your idea was a better idea, because there was those balls for the cover, and that's another good chance. Well, this is not a gimme either.
That was kind of playing with fire going on that side of the side pocket. I would have tried to come all the way back up for the 6 on the side. Heavy draw on outside. And now the 7 doesn't have that pocket by the 10 anymore after Paul's safety. So maybe that was actually a 40 chess move when he bumped the 10 into that position. Because the 7 is not sitting easy.
Yeah, he's trying to check the cue ball up big time there, and that's making the shot twice as difficult. So here you go, Paul. How many invitations are you going to need? You're getting 2 chances at this. Now, if anything, the angle he's got, I think he's missing the 9.
I would come down to the end rail stun between the 7 and the 8 for the 7 and the side. Because I think he's got too much angle to hold.
Now, see, is he jabbing this to bump the 9? Is that what he's trying? I think he's got too much angle. He needs to slow up, though. Needs to slow up. Oh, hang on a minute.
He's all right.
I think he's just got. Well, he's going to have to tweak this a bit. I think he's going to have to. Is he? Maybe my eyes don't.
No, I think it goes clean.
It's very tight. He's got it.
And he's out. That miss from Spec, he could not afford.
You know,
Paul's in stroke and he's in rhythm.
Those sort of shots, that shot that he left in the 6 ball, he does that week in, week out, Friday night 9 ball, and he pots them. You know, he leaves himself awkward cuts and stuff like that, and usually tightens it up.
Challenge rooms.
But you know, these are opportunities that Paul is long as he keeps taking them and keeps staying in touch like this, then it gets to that period of the match when you're running out of racks, and then it's how's your nerve, Spectredawn. And Paul again can't get a ball.
Try. And the 5 passes the 10, so I don't see a lot of trouble in this rack either. I guess the 4 to the 5, depending on what angle he can hold for the 4, he might have a tricky shot.
Well,
if he just has enough angle to stun.
Yeah, inside or outside this 4 ball, and he should be able to get into. Well, he's got into a tight gap here to go into this 5. Yeah,
he's kind of got to draw it back all the way to the 7 off the 4.
Right, you see now he's inside, so it's he's got to stun this in firm and get across. The only thing it's going to do him is the 9 ball or the 7. It's whether he can find that gap.
Ooh.
Now that was clever, but
it didn't work.
An unlucky roll.
The trouble is he was always leaving the 5 ball near the pocket there. Did he take away the angle on the 8?
Now, can you not just bunt this 5 and just put a wee bit of spin on this and bump the back railing in behind the 9? Is he going for the cut? I think he can get that.
He's looking to make it, but the 9 is going to make it very difficult to get out of there.
He's got it, yeah. And as you said, and he's got a good bank here if he wants it.
He does, but I don't know that he gets on the 7 banking it.
Well, Coldest Pillow, I don't think you were ever around in Virtual Pool 3. You ever heard of Romario? Yeah, Albie. Romario is alive, and now that you're here, and I know that you were, he needs a lucky roll here. I don't think he's got it. Now that you were there, I'm going to show you something, Albie. I was on the forum yesterday cleaning up the Solaris forum. I found Romario's email that he registered in the forum, and I'm going to show you this because Spectredawn's probably going to run out. Let's just go there, and I'll go to messages. Where the hell is it? Where's messages in this thing? There we are. I sent him an email using his email. He never replied to my email, but there's his reply in VP4. And I'll show you. And all he says is, "Yep, I'm fine." That's all he says. He doesn't say, "I'm doing this, I'm doing that." He's not given any information. But at least we know he's alive. And we're back in time to see Spectredawn stretch the lead again. Yeah, it doesn't give you anything to say. I've been in hospital, I've been this or that or nothing or whatever. I don't have a PC anymore or what. He doesn't give you any clue as to why he isn't here. But I mean, he's been gone for a long time. And it's good to know that he's still alive. And I just did that in the off chance that email would still work. And I'm very surprised I got a reply, I must admit.
Well, dry breaks and runnable tables has been the way this has been going the last few
it's been...
Here's another one.
It's another opportunity here for Paul just to stay in touch.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that it's only 11-9 and it might be 11-10. It's when it gets to 14-13, that sort of score, then all sorts of crazy things start happening in this. We've seen it in this tournament. No, I don't think he's that type of player, Coldest Pillow. We would have found out a long while ago that he was over there. And that's a good shot.
That was very nice. He is right in line here. He needs to avoid the 8 when he's playing position on the 6, or bump it. But
the reason I found Albinario's email is I was going over the forum yesterday. I cleaned out hundreds and hundreds of spam yesterday. I've gutted it out, and the only thing you know about, I don't even know who PJ Harvey is. And I was looking at remember that post that I made, quotes of the day. I was reading some of the quotes of the day, and I was laughing out loud reading some of the stuff. And Romarius was on there quite a bit, having a dig at me and having a dig at you. Some of the posts were, and of course Stubbs on there in multiple different names. You want to see the amount of names Stubb had in VP3. Because it doesn't matter what he changes his name to, you always know it's him as soon as you type something.
Paul found trouble.
Oh
he
dear.
found trouble out of nowhere there. He was dead straight on that ball, and he tried to cheat the pocket in order to be able to follow up for the 8.
Yeah. And this is going to be one of these matches where you count the chances, the opportunities that you miss.
I think he needed to look a little harder going from 6 to 7 at where he needed to be in order to have enough angle to play that shot, because
this is going to hurt.
It seemed like he just casually got straight in and then realized that that was a problem.
Well, I'm seeing names here I don't even... Who's Dominus Black? Never seen that name before. And that guy with the long name, never seen that name before. He's still in the room. Well, according to that, he's from the UK.
Who's not from the UK these days?
Well, there's a guy in the room called Hairpig. He's got a Stars and Stripes. I can't say that name. Chola Bank Hong Fat Oi.
I'm normally good at pronouncing names, but I'm not going to get close to that one.
I can say the long Welsh name, but I can't say Chong Bank Hong Fat Oi. And talking about long names, there's Yamaguchi Taru in the building.
Hey, Yama.
What's Japanese for hello again? I'm good at saying sayonara, and sayonara to the cue ball as well there. Paul scratched again.
Say, Ohio? Is that right?
Is that not a state?
And it's also a state. I feel like it's also a Japanese greeting.
What's Japanese for hello again, Yama? Konnichiwa. That's it. There you go. That just jumped into my head. Is that not Japanese for hello or good afternoon or good morning or whatever? Konnichiwa. Is that? Thank you. That shows you how much Japanese I know.
No, I think arigato is thank you.
Arigato.
Right? Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
What is mean? Somebody tell Yama. I'm asking him what is hello in Japanese. Mind you need to Google Translate and do it that way. And gyoza. Coldest pillow only knows katsu curry.
Oh, Albin's got the Japanese knowledge.
Well, that's no good, I don't think.
Huh?
Well,
it wouldn't be Yama-san because of reasons, Albie?
Well, this cuts down the rail. Big shot here for Paul. All or nothing, this shot.
Not easy. And he doesn't have to get on the 7. I mean, I guess the 7-10 combo plays pretty natural from a lot of places, but I do not envy this shot.
Although this might be a good safety at the end of the day. Yeah, that's not bad. Although, is Spectredawn going to try the kick in the 8? No, it doesn't go. That's too straight, I think.
If you clip the 6 on the right side, then the 8 will stop it there, and you can go 3 rails behind the 7 and 10.
Yeah, but that 8 does go. That is a combo.
Oh, I don't agree with that at all. He could have cut that 6 thin. He knows where the 6 is going to be. The 8's going to stop it right there. And he's got every ability to get his cue ball, short rail, long rail behind the 7 and 10. And instead he starts this
Double kiss.
exchange, which there's never any guarantee over who's going to end up good. Now Paul's got the option of playing that shot, I'm saying, from here.
Yeah, very thin off that. No,
But he's
again, he
not gonna
wasn't
do
brave
it.
enough there. You've got to send that cue ball down behind the 10 and 7
Oh,
there.
and he can just hit this ultra thin and leave Paul behind the 8 now. So advantage bending towards Spectredawn. He's got to soft kick this and try not to leave it playable. He does pretty well. So
well,
rolling on it again.
The bad news for you, Stubb, is I've got video evidence, and I will show that to them that matters, and you'll still get fined $1,000. So I dare you.
Now Spec could. He keeps shooting the wrong shot before I can describe the right one. But
well, who's going to be brave enough and try and get away from this? Because that 7 and 10 ball's crying out to be ducked behind.
Well, Spec will just make the 6 from here. So if he can put his cue ball on the other end rail, then he'll have his choice of side or corner pocket.
No, you'll find out. I'll show him. I'll get the link for the time in the video. How's the luck here? This looks good.
Wow.
Very good.
Did he play for that one? I guess he did at that speed. Got on the wrong side of it, though.
Good afternoon to Sergeresh.
He could do heavy draw with low right in order to go either 2 rails for the short side or even harder, 2 rails to the open side of the 8. He tried, but he caught the 10.
It's off the rail, so just got to nip this.
Good. He is really good at this shot every time he plays me in a challenge room. Seems like he never misses it.
Now, just for any latecomers, this match should be a lot closer. That's all I'm going to say. It should be a lot closer than this.
Well, it was closer, but then Paul resumed making mistakes.
Yeah, it's all about missed opportunities, Paul. That might be the epitaph or the best way of describing the outcome of this if it goes the way it's going to go. And cue ball's gone this time. And here's the opportunity.
That didn't get kissed either. He just drew that 1 rail cross side. That's
Albie's working late shift at McDonald's. See you later.
That's not an unlucky scratch. That's a mishit.
Well, this is the first tricky part. There's a lot of traffic in the way here, and there's a tiny gap to get this cue ball into. He's trying to get down at the bottom. And he ain't got there.
Rail first is an option. Again, he can play it. And I think he should be on the 3. He should skirt between the 6 and the 3 for a shot on the 3 if he makes it. Oh.
Well, he's got to hit it first.
The 3 still goes. Or he might just stop there and play it up. That's actually a pretty nice way to have a natural follow for the 4. Can't really get on the right side of the 4 from here, though. Or you can, but you got to get way up on the right side of it because the 7 blocks the shallow angle. Well,
The
no
shallower he
problem.
keeps that 4 ball, the simpler it is just to drop through, and that's perfect.
Yeah, that's very nice. He judged that well. Judges this well to leave some angle, so he doesn't have to do anything to get on the 6. Gonna be a controlled draw off the 6 for the 7, I think. Or he could. No, I would draw up for the side. Very well controlled.
He's running away from the 8, but again, loads of room, not a problem. You do whatever he wants.
Yep. He used the rail, but he could have just dropped that in and left a bunch of distance. It's no obstacle in the virtual game here.
Is he going forward behind the 10 and around the corner and out for the 9 into the other corner pocket?
I think he's at risk of clipping the 10.
You think the 10's in the way? Because it looks a bit to me like the 10's in the way. Yeah,
he can stun between them. I like stun between them.
In the gap for the side.
Well, yeah, although he drew it and hit the 9 instead, and he'll still be all right.
I'm not sure whether he actually played for that bump in the 9 there, because that could have ended up stonewall on the rail.
I think he did, because he got all the way, he put his tip all the way to the bottom of the ball. I don't think he was trying a stun shot.
Oh, looks like Spectredawn's on the run into home now. The way this is panning out, these racks are drifting away from Paul. Got to get this break working. And not again. A scratch again. He's not got hold of the cue ball at all. And look at the table. And it's inevitable what's going to happen here.
Well, the 2 to the 3 seems like pretty much the key to this one.
Yeah, ball in hand. Nice inside angle on the 1 out into the table. Now, he can go forward. Come down the left side on the shorter side of the 3.
Yeah, forward toward the 9, I think.
He's left it a wee bit short.
Yeah, a little thin. He may need to use the rail between the 7 and 10 here, which makes this trickier. Oh no, he didn't at all.
Comfortable playing a little touch shot.
As long as he doesn't get straight in on the 6, I think he should be in great shape. Lovely angle. Follow for the 8 in the opposite corner, unless he can't beat the 10, in which case he might need to draw back and bump the 8. Yeah, he can't beat the 10, so bump the 8 it is, and he doesn't bump it full enough.
I know, it's funny.
Yeah, he kind of hit that with middle ball and pace, and he was only ever gonna bump the 8 a little too thin. He needed to kind of soft draw that, which would have required some elevation.
Well, we've got 16 on YouTube this afternoon. I'm surprised we've got as many as that. Don't know how many's on Twitch.
Now, from here, I think he's just got to tap the 8 to the rail again. Unfortunately, I don't see a safety that's really likely to get safe.
Don't tell me he's bank it. He was in 2 minds to call a pocket there for a second, I think.
Yeah, he might bank it cross-side. The pocket plays enormous from this angle, but it's still tricky to judge. Yeah, not enormous enough.
Well, at least it's not a gimme.
It's not. But I'm betting on Spectredawn. Really just the one shot. Can't imagine he's going to have anything tough on the 9 or the 10.
Larry's making sure he's getting in time. He's signed up. Well, it's been a collection of racks at the right time here for Spectredawn. I think a good 2 or 3 of them, Paul's had a chance or 2 in them, but it's just that the match is gone now. A major fail from Spectredawn's the only way that, not only a major fail, but Paul's going to have to clear tables, and I don't think that's going to happen now. Was that a ball in the break? 3 balls gone, 1 ball's on, back up the table for the 2. 4 balls handy. He doesn't have to do a lot to get on it. He might have just hooked himself though. He needs to keep running. And he can't pot
quite
that.
Hooked, but he can't make it. Yeah, that was tough. The angle on the 1 was
I'm not sure, Coldest Pillow, whether he was back to within 1, but it was either 10-8 or 10-9, but it's gone from that point onwards.
I think Coldest Pillow is right. I think it was 10-9.
Now that's no good. But of course,
no, he can make
the problem's not the 2. The problem's having a sight in this 4.
Uh-oh.
And it needs to keep rolling.
Again, he's got an edge, but also, even if he had the ball, the 5 is now tied up.
Well, I don't think he can get the cue ball out of there in time. I think there's going to be a collision. Well, he's managed to do it. I'll give him that. Yep. He's in more trouble though.
Steve's not here, so I got to mention one pocket for him. That's a shot you play a lot.
Send the ball over your pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're in one pocket often. You're not counting on making it. But
this might really be sweet. Nice. That's a kick safe of the day. That one.
Yeah, that was really nice. That looked intentional. Can't be sure.
Okay.
if you drew that up, but
the bad news for Paul is that Spectredawn's going to kick this in because it's got room past the 10.
It's got room.
Now I think if he plays this at a nice speed, he'll be on the 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he couldn't play it too soft because otherwise he could end up just hooked behind the 10.
It's one of them tables. Get the 5 ball, get on the 6. You should be out.
He doesn't need to jack up here. He could just roll this ball in. Feel like jacking up just makes that missable, but he executed it just fine.
So this match is for a place in the hot seat. Am I right? Or am I wrong again? I'm pretty certain it's for a place in the hot seat.
I don't know the answer.
We'll check the bracket once this is done. So Spectredawn will be braking to get to the hill.
I don't think he will. I think it's Paul's break next.
Oh no, you're right enough. My bad.
I mean, he will have a break to get to the hill. You can tell I need my dinner. Who wins the next track, but
right, see you later, brain pull out.
Got 2 balls on the break. Don't think he can quite cut the 1 in the corner, and the 2 I don't think goes. So he's I would not guess he's out from here.
Well, the lifeline, of course, is a 2-ball, because that doesn't go.
Now you could roll up on the 5. You know, bump the 1 down table, roll up on the 5 ball.
Yeah,
and
I'd
you'd
be sticking
putting the
it
1
in
in
5.
Putting the 1 in position where you're more likely to have a breakout on the 2. I kind of like that one.
I mean, Spectredawn's having a look at this. To me, this is simple.
He's trying to break it out right now by playing it in the side, going off the rail near the 3.
He's getting acrobatic here.
No, now he's trying this way. And just play the safe on the 1.
Yeah, that would have been far easier.
He did get around where he has safety options on the 2 from here. So there's that.
Well, he
can't. The hook. He's left
he
a
can't
very
go up
simple
and down
trick
that
to
way. I mean, if he hits this right, that might work, will it? Maybe not. No. No, he can
I don't
cut.
think he can.
He can knock it in, no problem.
Without scratching?
Yeah, because he can just spin off it. That might catch the point. He's got right English on it to massy it right.
Yeah, he got there. The 3 is going to be another question. Will he find the window?
Oh yes, he's found the gap.
He did. Yep. That's a good roll.
Oh, by the way, I've got a complaint about a product that I purchased from Tesco this afternoon or this morning before I came home. What's the name of those pizzas? Is it Azizi? What's the name of the brand? Anyway, they do a good pepperoni and chili pepper pizza. I thought I'm going to have that for lunch because it's only like 11 minutes in the oven. And so I bought one. And I got my discount with my club card as well as my staff discount. Yeah, that one, right? What's the name of the brand? Zizi or something? They're good pizzas. And the thing is, my complaint is that the product has a little plastic bottle inside. Yeah, Zizi. It has a little plastic bottle of chili oil that once the pizza's cooked, you defrost the chili oil bottle, you do it in a warm cup of water, and when the pizza's ready, you then sprinkle the chili oil over the pizza, and it's delicious. And it's got a nice kick with the chilies on it. Watch this cue ball.
Oh no.
And
more life in this match.
Guess what? The bloody chili oil bottle wasn't in it. It was non-existent. You can imagine how pissed I was at that. Pizza was still good, but it needs that little dash of chili oil over the top. Well, there's a big fail from Spectredawn.
Well, you don't have a bottle of chili oil in your cupboard?
No, I don't. I wish I had.
Yeah, you got to keep that on hand. Or you know what's even better is do you guys have chili garlic crisp in the UK? Chili garlic. It's 3 words. That's the name. Chili garlic crisp.
Crisp.
It's like yeah. So it's fried bits of garlic and chili pepper in chili oil. In a jar.
We've got chili oil. We've got, but we certainly don't sell that in our store.
Oh, it's so good. Put it on everything.
Now, what's happening here? Spectredawn's having a bathroom break, probably.
It's a Chinese brand that I buy, but I don't know. I'm not certain it's something they actually use in China.
Now, while Spectredawn's at the bathroom, let's go to the bracket. These are the matches that are remaining. There's the one that has been set with Cobra and Interchange X. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. Eastern. What's that? 10 a.m. Pacific. I'll be there for that, and of course we'll have the start of the leagues at 5 p.m. leading up to that match, and then you've got the stub Vince's match on Saturday night at midnight and Sunday morning, which is again 7 p.m. Eastern. So Steve and Slim hopefully will be there for that.
All right, Spec is back, and he broke, and he made 3 balls, but the 2 is in a pretty guarded position.
Is he going to get crazy here? Yeah,
I think
he's going all
if
out.
he just draws this back and forth across the table, he'll have a cut shot on the 2 if he had made the 1.
That's a tall order, but it's another rack here. Begging here for you, Paul.
And this is a much better opportunity for Paul. This is pretty easy to draw into a cut shot on the 2.
Now, what I should have done with that pizza is put it back in the box, stick it in the car, and drive 16 miles to the place that I work and say I bought this and there's missing chili oil. I could have taken it to one of my local stores. Obviously, that would save in the mileage, but would they believe me? That's the question.
16 miles each way?
Yeah, 16 miles there, 32 miles each day.
So that's going to be, at least probably 2 to 3 liters of gas? How much does that cost in Scotland?
Far too bloody much, to be honest with you, yeah. In fact, put it this way, I was far cheaper eating the pizza and forgetting the chili.
Yep. That's what I was going to say.
Where's the logic in that? You drove 16 miles just to tell us it's missing chili oil. How much did that cost you in gas?
That's one of those Scottish stereotypes, isn't it? that you do that.
I would do that out of principle. Yeah, I paid for it. Where is it? I don't care how much it costs. Fuel. Right now, straight across the table, straight out into the table. That's all you do here. He's looking around and looking around. There's nothing to this. Just pot the 9 and let the cue ball run out.
He's put some left on it. I don't know if he needs it, but he's using it anyway. Yeah, I think he would have been high enough up the table without the spin, and it would have made the 9 a little bit less missable.
Right now, again, I'd be just jabbing this in with a bit of bottom, just so that I'm holding the cue ball and not letting it do something stupid. He's not doing it though.
Yeah, slow roll is safe too.
Yeah. Well, he's back to within 3. It's his break. God help him in the break, because it's been hopeless all day, and it's another dry one. At least he didn't scratch. Good afternoon to Bill.
And the 1 ball is the problem.
He's lining up the combo. It's nowhere near set.
Combo or the count?
But he isn't calling it, so he's ducking. Yeah, that was the right shot.
I agree. That was a good shot.
So the first thing to look out for tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon in the leagues is that the break box has been fixed. So the break box should be in this week's league if Steve's fixed the thing.
Now this is actually an interesting shot. Paul fluked a ball, which means it's Spectre's option. And this is kind of a push-out situation where it's unclear whether you're supposed to shoot here or hand it back.
Well, he's given it back to him, so...
He has, but the kick safe was really there.
Oh, I think he's...
Oh, he almost got it.
Just came out. And 1 cuts. Well, I don't think he's got much option. He's got no option just to run straight up by the 7 and back down to where the 8 is. That's the way the line would go.
I don't think he can avoid the 7 if he hits it hard enough to do that.
I think he might just let this drop in.
I think he might be better off playing safe here because I don't think getting on this 2 is really
He's got left English on it, so it looks
likely
as if
enough.
he's trying to avoid the 7, and he's done it.
He
And
did.
this looks as if it's going to bump nice here. This is perfect.
Yeah, well, what do I
Couldn't
know?
have landed
Don't
any
play
better.
safe. Yeah, that
And
was nice. The 2 is tight to the rail, which makes it hard to make if you're playing it slowly or with spin.
yeah, this is. Yeah, the cue ball just wants to leak away, so he's played for a bump and a roll again. He's got a roll.
Well, that's kind of a VP special, I think, because the rails don't compress, and when the ball is tight, it's hard to get it to cut hitting ball first, unless you hit it really hard. So I find that the hard stun shot, even when it's not what I want for position, is how I like to play those balls in this game.
This is really the last problem you've really got to deal with, as far as I can see. Potting this 4 ball, and he's overcut it. He's overcut it, and well, it's all or nothing for the combo 8. He's got to go for this. And I think he's got to play at a pace that gives every chance of this 8 ball going in. He can't be slamming it. Got to play it sort of deadish weight, and that'll do.
No, it's not. Whoa.
Oh dear, that won't do.
That was
That
nice,
won't
though.
do.
Well, no, he's on it. He's okay.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is it my eyes? What is my eyes?
Yeah, it was just very close.
Well, see, from this end, I thought he was hooked.
3 rails for the 5 on the side, I believe. Oh,
Just
unless
the
he never
bounce.
hit it.
It looks good. It's good. The legs.
That's good
It's
enough.
perfect. Absolutely spot on. Little dink back for the 6 into the corner. Or, I mean, I don't think he want to mess with the 7 ball. He's dinked it a wee bit more for comfort, but he should get this.
It's fine. This whole side of the table was fine for that shot.
Well, this is much more respectable than I thought it was going to be, this match. But what about those racks that went away from you, Paul? You could still be sitting here all square. It's amazing. You could be sitting here 15 all right now. Easily 15 all.
To his credit, though, instead of frustration or exhaustion setting in, he's regained focus.
He's not given up. He's not. There's no sign of that. He's just playing it as it is. He's just had those mistakes that's cost him. But he ain't beat yet. As long as Spectredawn isn't sitting in 16, there is still a glimmer of hope.
Ooh,
this is no good, though. This is no good.
Was too hard. That's 4 feet too hard.
Well, again, this is my rule with these shots. I have one look, and that's it. If I don't see the line, then I ain't hanging about for 2 or 3 looks at it. And that's what happens, and it's gone this time. You've got to see the line straight away in that cut. If you've played the game long enough and often enough.
I don't know. For me, I do have to take an extra moment, but whether I do or not, that shot is not easy.
And that's this is proving my point. It's all of these racks that's gone away from him at that critical point. Another rack has gone, and he could have been not quite on his tail, but now it's a different story. Now it's last chance saloon every single rack. If he's still got a shot.
Yeah, he may have already had his last chance.
That might be it gone though. Is this 1 ball cut?
Yeah, it goes. These balls all go.
Yeah, it's all over if this goes in.
Where's the trouble? The 7 could be awkward if you get too much angle on it.
Well, I can't honestly see that being it. Well, even if he had too much angle outside the table, he's not going to scratch off it.
Yeah,
He
you're
can cut
right.
it down the rail, no problem.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about the scratch. And so
He could
it
even go below or above the 7 as we look at it. No, tell a lie, I forgot the 6 balls on the table. No, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, he'll just come across. And
Yeah,
he
could have had. I mean, Bedhead's right. I mean, there's at least, if you say at least 4 racks, and that's a conservative number. At least 4 racks should have been Paul's had he taken them out, and it could have been a completely different story. This match. Good afternoon to Tam. He won't be here long. It's all over.
Yeah, he got the perfect angle on the key ball of that rack there.
I hope you're warmed up for tomorrow, Tam. And for God's sake, get here for quarter 2 or I start to panic. Likewise for Bill. Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, Coldest Pillow, he's had a week off to recover from that 9-0 that Semi-Pro dished out to him. Well done to Spectredawn and Paul. Well, it's all about what could have been. If you hand him another 4 racks, it could have been hill, even if you were going to say that. It could have easily took this match all the way if he got those racks that, you know, he's missing a fight, a second last ball, 9 ball, he missed the 10 ball. There was 2 racks. And then the earlier racks as well, the very first rack. So give him another 4 racks, it could have gone hill. But what it does mean though is that Spectredawn is now through to what I'm sure I'm saying is the hot seat match. There he is. And he now waits on the winner of this match, which is at midnight Saturday night between Stubb and Vinces. Now, there's history with Stubb and Vinces. The 2019 10-ball Virtual World Championship final, Stubb had the match won. He was leading by at least 3 with 4 to play. And Vinces won it. So there's bad blood in that match between them two. We've got those. What else have we got left? So now that Paul's moved across, and Albinario is waiting on. Who the hell is Albinario waiting on now that I look at the bracket if we can get it to work? Where is he? See this bracket? I still hate this bracket. Albinario is now waiting on the loser of Stubb Vinces. And Paul will be through. Where is he? Is he top of the bracket? There he is. Yeah, Paul's sitting there. Has he got a match?
He's waiting.
No, he's waiting in the loser. That's right. Sorry, I'll say that right again. He's waiting the winner of Cobra and Interchange X, which is tomorrow. So you'll know who his opponent's going to be. That'll be 6 p.m. tomorrow. So the league start at 5 on Saturday. I'll be there for that. Then we'll cover that. We'll jump to that match. Keep an eye on what's happening in the leagues. And then I'll get home from work on Sunday and catch that Stubb match, either on Slim's channel or Steve's Twitch or YouTube. So that is it, folks. Thank you to Hairpig for stepping in. Steve had other important matters to deal with. He had to go and play bloody golf again. So I'll see you later. I'll be back for Friday night 9-ball. I can go and get dinner. So good afternoon, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good one.
See you later.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Good night, ladies.